Hi, I'm Bibi Ahamad. I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. I thank God today that I'm alive. I've survived all forms of abuse: physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. The one that is most deadly for me personally is the emotional abuse. My first encounter with with the, with my abuser, I should have left. I knew better, but for whatever reason, could have been so-called law or whatever, I stayed. And it escalated. The verbal abuse was, to me, it had the most impact negatively on my life. The physical abuse, one time it became almost deadly. It was one Sunday morning around 5. Between 4 and 5 in the morning, the abuse started in the bed with hitting on my face and my body. Eventually, when he was sitting on me, eventually I was able to get up. And I tried to run to a door, but I didn't make it in time. And he came with a cutlass and he had it at my throat. And he went on, and all I could have done was pleaded for my life. I go by whatever he said. I said yes to everything. He said I concur at that time because, and my daughter was 6 years old at that time. She was screaming. This lasted for a couple hours. Eventually, he left the home. First thing I did, I changed the locks so he kind of coming back. I took my daughter by a cousin of mine and I went to the police. I made my report, I got my medical, and the matter went to the court. He called me, pleaded with me, he begged mercilessly, please don't send me to jail, I'm sorry, I'm going to do whatever you want, I'm going to go to church, I'm going to do counseling, etc., etc. I did, and the matter, he was put in a year bond. I saw him before I left the court. I said, when you come, please collect your clothing and leave. He never come till the following day. He collected him, my poor little kid at the time, she was in bitter tears. She wants her dad, she wants her dad. Eventually, I took him back into the home, thinking that I was doing something. In the meantime, we were doing family counseling. But he was just doing it because it was something he just promised to do. And the verbal abuse, the threat on my life continued. I thought I could have made an impact on his life to change him, but I was wrong. I was living with fake hope, I call it. I said to myself, this is it, I cannot continue like this. I have to put an end to it. And I had to build that self-courage and that self-determination to move from point A to point B. The rebuilding had lots of challenges. In any rebuilding of life, there are challenges. But I'm very, very thankful for being out of that relationship. I'm also very thankful and grateful. I had support from my family, in particular my brother. He has been like the rock on which I stand on. Domestic abuse is very complicated. It has so many issues associated with it. For a woman to leave an abusive home, she herself has to make up her mind that she wants to leave. And when she leaves, it just doesn't become beautiful. You have to heal. Everybody heal at a different pace. Everybody cope with situation at a different pace. So it's a number of factors would have to take place. But if you want to leave, you'll have to have a support system. You can't do it alone. If you're going to stay in that relationship, what risk you put yourself in. If you have children, what risk you put your children in. You have to. There's so many factors that might be depending on the abuser to maintain your children. But I leave my abuser and go in with this concept, and this concept has been with me for a very long time, even before that. If God can provide for the birds and the bees, He will provide for mankind. And there might be avenues where you can either source to get a job, might not be the best of the job, because there are people at silent partners that I know that are living in high society, I call them, and they're accustomed to a certain way of life, and they will have to rebuild from nothing upwards. But you have to have that self-determination that I'm not going to live in this, I don't want this anymore, I need to rebuild my life. Physical abuse is cars for Gobi, but the verbal abuse, from the time you hit the door, the abuser hit the door, you become very tense. You get this feeling within you, or if I move from here to here, what would happen? Or if I do this, afterward it breaks you down emotionally. It also had a negative impact on my daughter's life too. Upon reflection afterwards, then I realized that. It's not going to be an easy road. But if you have that self-determination and the guidance, and you have a circle around, you might meet two persons, if one who's there to support you, you can make it. It can happen.